The first rule of CQB Fight Club is we don't talk about CQB Fight Club. I'm kidding, but this is a field that I actually didn't know the most about when I first started looking into it online. So I didn't exactly know what to expect when I arrived at one of their Sunday games. Before we begin though, I did want to let you guys know I'm having a game day at my field, Wild West Acres, Saturday the 19th, starting at 10 a.m. Game price is only $10 for the whole day, and you can find more in the link down below. Now, back to the video. Thankfully, I was greeted by friendly players and staff and a field that impressed me. Seriously, we don't get super awesome urban fields like this in the Pacific Northwest very often at all, so I was really excited when I rolled up that day and saw all the cover that they had on display at the field. It wasn't exactly huge, but sometimes I prefer that to big, wide open fields with not very much cover laid around in general. There was just kind of one thing that really slowed my roll when we got started for the day. Single life elimination games, otherwise known as Speed QB style of play. Basically, if you're hit, you're out. Walk off the field. I don't really like this. When players only have one life, they tend to get really careful. And if you ask me, a lot of airsofters already have a pushing up on the field problem. That's not to say you can't get aggressive. Hell, plenty of people did. But it did seem like you were rewarded a lot more for sticking in one spot on the field, locking that down, and making sure nobody ran past your line of sight. What this also means is that if you're having an off day, you're spending more time not playing the game of airsoft than you are actually out on that field. And this gets to become extra punishing when you get hit early on in the round.
Hit!
Thankfully, rounds at Fight Club do tend to run pretty quickly, only about 5 minutes. Still though, I frequently found myself in positions where I was frustrated, getting kicked out of the round a little bit early, or in situations where I started to feel like the round was ending just as it was starting to get going. Maybe this is alleviated with more players on the field, but I also kind of think it's a problem inherent with the Speed QB format. Personally, I also tend to bounce off of games that are too punishing or are overly slow. That's not to say I don't understand why people like these sorts of games. For starters, they're way more enjoyable to watch, and it's way easier to read from an outsider perspective what's going on and what's happening. Another reason is that the risk and reward is highly elevated when you only have one life. At its best, it can feel like you're removing pieces off of a chessboard and you're carving your way through the enemy team. Single life is the ultimate form of emphasizing the highs and emphasizing the lows of any given airsoft match. The problem is that humans have a negativity bias, and that also influences how we experience games. Wikipedia defines the negativity bias, also known as the negativity effect, is a cognitive bias that even when positive or neutral things of equal intensity occur, things of a more negative nature, for example, unpleasant thoughts, emotions, or social interactions, harmful or traumatic events, have a greater effect on one's psychological state and processes than neutral or positive things. So that loss in a game and subsequent weight is going to hit you a lot harder than any victory or win actually ever will for you. But later on, they did actually have a single TDM round, and I actually had the most fun out of it during the entire day. Seriously, I had a blast. It was like this weird weight lifted off my shoulders, and I could just focus on the game instead of what was going to happen if I happened to get hit. Unfortunately for me, though, it was only one round, and then we're back to single life games. For a lot of people, though, single life games are their jam, and it is what they like to play. Unfortunately, it's just not my favorite. Back now wearing a different shirt because videos take a little bit of time to make. CQB Fight Club is doing a lot right. They offer a competitive environment on a regular basis, which is an area that's super underserved in Washington State. They also have their upcoming Fight Fest, which is bound to get eyes on the field as well. Fight Club's atmosphere is also fantastic, and I can definitely tell when I'm there that players are excited to be there and play Airsoft. It's really nice because it makes me feel like Airsoft has a future. I was able to chat with almost everyone there. Also, shout out to Travis with Rain Shadow Airsoft. I checked out his channel. He's got a lot of really fun stuff, like a dual minigun kind of war machine setup that I think you guys would find really enjoyable to take a look at. He was able to help me kind of figure out the pace and the vibe and the flow of the field a little bit more. Like I said earlier, CQB Fight Club's layout also plays great. Their cover is close enough to where it takes skill and timing to move between, but it's not so close and so cluttered that it's hard to monitor threats like, say, at a field like TAC. The central set of conic boxes also play a major role in the field, which helps to break up those fights. It's part of what led to that TDM game in the middle of the day feeling like it played so great for me. I want to know, what do you guys think? Have you played at CQB Fight Club before? Have a great day, don't be a cheater, and that's all, folks.